We've made it now. We've been waiting for this for far too long. We're not alone, because the patience in our hearts is strong. We've given so much of ourselves, and seen the memories leave the shelves. There's many things we haven't said, from all the time stuck in our heads. From all the time stuck in our heads. We've made it. We've made it now. We've made it. We've made it now. For all the seeds that you planted, like a treasure in the attic. Hi everyone and welcome, my name is C. Today we're going to be checking out London's Symphonic Strings by Aria Sounds. It's a string library that's been around for quite some time, and I believe it's the very first library I ever bought. It's definitely the first string library I ever bought, and funnily enough it's one of the few libraries that actually helped me produce a track that got me some national airplay, so we'll be checking that out in a second. But also the library's got quite a few things that could be improved, and we'll be talking about that in details as well. This video will mainly be a contextual video, so we'll be listening to sound examples in context with or without other instruments. But if you'd like to check out all the articulations of the library, I'll make another video that will be on my channel in the next few hours, so ring the notification bell and also subscribe to this channel if you'd like to be notified for when this video comes out. It should be in the next few hours, so won't be long. I hope you like this one. Let's check it out. Okay, so this is an epic example I've made with the library, and I'm no epic expert by any means, but I just wanted to give it a shot and I hope you like it. So I used the concerto violin. That's basically part of the first violins. It's in the same folder, and it's basically a solo violin that's standing above the rest with a lot of vibrato. I used piccatos for the violin 1 and 2s, then violas, sustains, cello sustains, and same for the basses. There are quite a few other libraries that I've used in this example, and you'll find the whole list of libraries that I've used, but basically there are some drums here with some cinematic crash cymbals and mallets and effects. And then we've got a piano at the beginning with a synth pad underneath it. We've got a bass that's like a sine bass with Pigments by Arturia that is just below the rest of the orchestra to, give that bit of low end that's missing. And then there are trumpets and, French horns, trombones, tubas, and then woodwinds, flutes and clarinets, and then a choir. And I used Reverberate as the main reverb. We'll listen to the strings first without any reverb. So I like the sound of the violas in this one. I think that the spiccatos are not really super precise. You need to work with it quite a lot, and they won't quantize. I mean, like, you won't be able to quantize the performance, and I know that most of the time it's not something that you want to do, but you know, in some cases I feel like there are libraries that react better to that than others, and this one, it took me a bit of time to get to that result. Okay, let's listen to it in context now, and we'll listen to the whole thing. So again, I'm no expert in epic music, but I hope you like it. I think it sounds nice in this context. So I like the sound of the sustains. I feel like the spiccatos could definitely, the attack on the spiccatos could definitely be improved. And there's something going on, but we'll talk about it in the cons. We'll talk about that. And I like the sound of the violas especially. So to me, the long sustains work really well. Okay, let's carry on. All right, let's talk about the cons of this library. And there are quite a few things I need to mention, and maybe it won't be like a complete list of the things that could be improved in this library. And believe me, it's no pleasure for me to do this, because I don't like, dissing libraries or anybody's products, because that's not what I do. And I don't feel like there's a lot of work that's put in those libraries, whether you like them or not, putting together those packages for us to make music with. It takes time and effort and money. And so it's not something that I like doing at all. But we'll just go through the things that could be improved, and we'll see whether it's a library that's worth your time or not. So let's check out the spiccatos first. I feel like they're quite, I was talking about the fact that you can't really quantize them, and it's not something that you usually do with libraries, string libraries, because of the time it takes for the attack to reach that, the beat. No better way for me to explain it. But let's just play it. So this is quantized and it's quite uneven. So what I did is that I pushed the whole performance in front of the beat quite a bit. And it is better, but it still is a bit irregular. So you will need to take a bit of time and tweak those notes and make sure that the attack corresponds to the beat. Okay, the next thing is another spiccato line. I don't know if you can hear this, but it feels like there's a second note that's triggered. And it almost feels like a trill, and it's not. It's just a second note in the sample, and I believe that could be because of the bowing, or maybe it's because of the script, I don't know. But there are a few things like this. The cello. Yeah. Same thing in the round robins. I don't know if you can hear that, but if you can't hear it, replay it a few times and there's a second note that's triggered here in some of the samples. Same thing here. And it's not always a problem, but sometimes it can be. Yeah. So, second violin spiccato. Same thing at the higher velocities, there's quite a bit of that resonance and it triggers, well, another note. And I know that, well, maybe in a natural performance in the real world, that's the sort of thing that you would hear. But in the sample library world, I feel like it's something that could be cleaned out a bit. All right, next thing. Okay, let's listen to, so these are spiccatos as well. First violin's spiccato and second violin spiccato, and we'll compare them. Listen to that. Listen to the tone. Okay, I didn't try to make this performance realistic. What I wanted you to listen to is actually the reverb. So same setting, and it feels like those two strings were recorded in different spaces. Listen to the first one. There's a much longer tail on the second violins, and I checked under the hood and it doesn't seem like there's any added reverb. But these two violins don't really correspond, in my opinion. So I don't know what you guys think. Okay, con legno. Yeah, there's quite a bit of low end on those samples, but not on the other ones. So yeah, some of those samples didn't have their low end cleaned out. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, martelé. Same thing, it sounds like a trill, but it's not. There's just one note, but there are two notes triggered. Okay. Same thing, so those things are baked in the samples, that's all I can say. Or maybe it's the script, I really don't know. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. So these are the first violin's spiccato, and this must be a scripting mistake. Check this out. Tom, we don't have any sound. Well, that's because there's no sound on the higher velocities, or should I say on the highest velocities. But now if you come to this part, works again. So yeah, that's one of the things. I don't know if all these mistakes have been improved in the newer version, because I bought this library, I don't know, 5 years ago or something like that. So maybe this has been fixed, and I hope it has. But yeah, wanted to show you them. If you guys have the library, if you could confirm in the comments section, that would be nice. Okay, viola Sordinos. So this is an interesting thing. In the lower velocities with the mod wheel, listen to what's going on. So there's a bit of a release issue there. So I don't know why the mod wheel is actually changing. Let's actually. There's something strange about this. So yeah. And there's another thing here with the violin Sordinos. I believe those are the, yeah. So it doesn't seem like much, but there's actually no sound that is played once you press once you press any key in the lower velocities. Nothing going on. You release the key and the sound is playing. Same thing here. So I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, no sound is playing once you press the keys, but when you release them, the sound is actually, yeah. So all those things, it's not for that reason that it's a bad library, in my opinion, and we'll see why in the next, examples. But I feel like this library could definitely be improved, fixing all those things, and I'm not even mentioning all the little things that are going on in some of the patches. So yeah, let's carry on. Okay, let's listen to another example now. We'll listen to the example without the other instruments first and without the reverb. Okay, let's listen to it. So in this example, I've used some Sordino sustains that play the main melody on the violins, and then you've got first violins, second violins, violas, celli and basses that play in Sul Ponticello. So it's a pretty nice articulation, and yeah, let's see what you think. Let's listen to it. So this is the sound without reverb and without the other instruments. Let's listen to it with the other instruments and the reverb. And so in this example, the brass and the woodwinds come from the studio series by Spitfire Audio. I like the sound of the Sul Ponticello. So what's pretty cool is that with this library, you can actually play legato even with the Sul Ponticello articulation, which is pretty rare from what I've seen in sample libraries. So this bit of the review is actually an interesting one, because when I composed this song, I made this song because my grandmother, who was Italian, passed away a few years ago, and I wanted to write this song for her, just as a way for me to remember her. She was a beautiful person, and yeah, I just, at that time I did not have any string library, so I bought this one, and I did not know how to compose for strings. So what I did is that you can just look at the first and second violins. If you guys orchestrate on a regular basis, this is great. It's just chords basically. So there's no legato. It's just chords, first and second violins, and it's just me playing around, as you would with the synth string patches. But the statement I want to make is this: it doesn't matter which library you have. I actually got some airplay on national radio here in Belgium with this song. What matters is the song, and that's always the same thing, isn't it? So I hope you like the song. Let's listen to it. I'll share the mixed and mastered version in the description if you want to listen to it. We've made it now. We've been waiting for this for far too long. We're not alone, because the patience in our hearts is strong. So we'll jump to the chorus. From all the time stuck in our heads, we've made it. We've made it now. We've made it. We've made it now. For all the sea. And also, back then, I didn't know how to use a mod wheel. Look at that. It's great, isn't it? It's really so good, isn't it? I mean, yeah. You can see that I just clicked on, you know, the expression and made it louder. I did not know what it was. So, yeah. It's always what I want to say with libraries, and that's why I love them so much, is that I want to make music with them. And it doesn't matter whether they have, well, obviously, when you come across a library that's got too many issues, it can get in the way of the composition and, you know, the workflow, and it can be a pain in the bum. But with this particular library, I didn't feel like it. To be honest, it loads very quickly, and it's one of the things that I like about string libraries, about libraries in general. And it can be a deal breaker for me when a library takes too much time to load. You're like this for hours, and that's not the case here. So that's a good point of this library, I guess. And I like the sound of the longs. I think they work well with the song. I don't know what you think. It's not perfect in any way, you know. My orchestration skills were very bad. I didn't know anything about it, but I just, you know, composed the song and you know, played it on the keyboard and just as I felt, and that's how it is. All right, in this example, we'll listen to the theme of one of my songs called Chamomile Fields that I've adapted here. I've mainly used consordinos, so first violins, second violins, violas, cello and basses, and then I've used you know, some supplementary first violin sustains on top of that to kind of complement the harmony. Okay, let's listen to it. So I think that using consordinos is actually a nice way to blend the strings with other instruments and give them the space that they need. Let's listen to the track now with the other instruments. So in this case, I've actually added reverb on the strings as well. So again, you'll find the list of all the libraries I've used in this example in the description. I used the choir, some woodwinds with alto flutes, clarinet, flute and bassoon ensemble, some brass, trumpets, trombones, horns, tubas, and then snares, bass drum, cymbals, and then a bass, a sine bass, at the bottom to kind of reinforce the low end of the track. So should you get London Symphonic Strings by Aria Sounds? Well, it all depends. If you're an experienced or advanced user, if you've liked what you've just heard, well, maybe if at one point you went, oof, I really need this, well, why not? You know, it's got plenty of different articulations. It's got sul tasto, sul ponticello, sordino, and those are legato. You've got 4 different mic positions. You've got colle, martele, spiccato, regular sustains, so plenty of different articulations for you to work with, but I would say that is if you can work past the things that it doesn't do well, you know, the scripting issues, the samples that won't trigger, the samples that do trigger when you don't want them to, the envelope issues with the mod wheel, things like that. So if you can go past that, and if you like the sound so much that you can buy this library, well, do it. For somebody that's starting out, I would take a look at the Spitfire Originals that is maybe simpler and is better scripted. I feel like it will be easier to use. That being said, there's one thing that I like, and that's the fact that it is low on CPU, and that's a major thing for me because I don't have like a big system here, so it's easy for me to work with this kind of library. But is it the worst library in the world? Come on, guys. Come on. You read things. You know who you are. But I find it funny. No, it's not the worst. I wouldn't say that. I think that you can work with this. The proof is that I managed to place a song on national radio. Somebody actually played it because they liked the song. So what matters is the song. What matters is what you'll make out of this. Whether you'll be able to work with it, whether you'll like the workflow. You know, there are so many libraries that I like or that I love that people don't like. And what can I say? You know, that's just the way it is. And I'm not going to complain. I can't. The thing is, with this library in particular, I have to say that there are many things that are not well done. There are things that can get in the way. There are, release samples that trigger for no reason in the long patches, and that's a pain in the bum, really. But is it the worst thing in the world? I don't think so. So it all depends on whether you'll be able to work with it or not. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, bit of a rant here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Actually, one of the next ones, or the next one, will be all the articulations of this library. So yeah, if you'd like to support me, buy me a coffee, all that good stuff, it will all be in the description, and I'll see you guys very soon. Don't forget to share this video and to subscribe. See you later. Bye-bye.